Hello children, welcome back to your online class. Let's start today's class. So class 7, in our previous video, we have started chapter 4, light energy, and we have learned about what is light energy, what is the reflection of light, regular reflection and irregular reflection. Now today we will learn about the terms related to reflection. Whenever we talk about the reflection, we talk about some terms which you must know what they are. First one is incident ray. A ray of light from a source striking to a given reflecting surface is called incident ray. For example, in this figure, the ray of light A is striking in this surface. This is the reflecting surface. It is striking at point O. So the AO will be called the incident ray. Clear? Now the second one is the point of incidence. What is point of incidence? The point at which the incident ray strikes the surface is called the point of incidence. So this is the point in this figure. This is the point O where the incident ray is striking to the surface. So the point O will be called the point of incidence. Now the next one is the reflected ray. The incident ray strikes at the point of incidence and reflects back in another direction. So the incident ray after reflection at the point of incidence is called the reflected ray. So in this figure, OB represents the reflected ray. Now next term is normal at the point of incidence. Clear? The perpendicular to the surface at the point of incidence is called the normal at the point of incidence. Perpendicular, you all know, perpendicular means which makes a 90-degree angle. So this is the perpendicular with this surface which makes 90-degree angle. So the perpendicular to the surface at the point of incidence is called the normal at the point of incidence. So in this figure, this ON represents the normal at the point of incidence. Now next one is the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection. So what is the angle of incidence? As it shows with its name, the angle between the incident ray and the normal is called the angle of incident. So in this figure, if we see, this is the incident ray and this is the normal. So the angle between the incident ray and normal, this angle AON will be called the angle of incidence. Now next one is the angle of reflection. What is angle of reflection? The angle between the reflected ray and normal is called the angle of reflection. So if we see in this figure, this is OB is the reflected ray and ON is the normal. So the angle between the reflected ray and the normal, this one BON will be called the angle of reflection. Now our next topic is laws of reflection. The reflecting surfaces obey two rules. Those are called laws of reflection. What are those? First one is the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Just now we have read about the angle of incident and angle of reflection. So the angle between the incident ray and normal, which is represented by I, and the reflected angle which is between the reflected ray and normal represented by R. Though these two angles are equal. This is the first law of reflection. Now, second one is the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Just see this. This is incident ray, this is reflected ray and this is the normal at the point of incidence. These all three will lie in the same plane. This is the second law of reflection. So these two rules are called laws of reflection. Now our next topic is mirrors. You all know about the mirrors. Mirrors are the best reflectors of light. So a good mirror should have these features. Number one, it must give the maximum or the best reflection. How it is possible? If it is polished and it has a smooth surface. Now number two is it should not absorb any light and it should not transmit any light. It should not absorb any light. It means it should not be black. It should be shiny and with a smooth surface. So it should not transmit any light. These are the two features of a good mirror. Mirrors can be of two types, plane mirror and spherical mirror. In this chapter, we will read about the plane mirror. So, what is plane mirror? A plane mirror is a plane reflecting surface. This mirror you all are having in your homes, in your bathroom, in your dressing table. Okay, so what are the uses of plane mirror? First one, at home to view ourselves, and second one, in making periscope. Periscope is an optical object which is used to see the objects which are not direct direct line of sight. Periscopes are used in submarines to see the objects which are not in line of sight, and also in army to see the hiding place of objects. So this much for today. In our next video, we will read about the real and virtual images. Till our next class, be safe, stay at home and enjoy a happy and prosperous Diwali.